Good morning and maybe afternoon, 8th graders, depending what time of the day, what class period you are in. If you just turned this video on, that means at this point you should already turn in your 1-5 worksheet from yesterday. Don't forget, some of you already did because you were done with it. You also need a pencil and a calculator and hopefully have the worksheet that I have up on my board in front of you. All right? Focus in, pay attention. I'm only going to take about 7 minutes of your time. Today we're going to put together what we learned on Monday and what we learned yesterday. We're going to push these together, and we have to remember our laws of exponents. If we can remember these things, we will be fine. All right? The product of powers means I am multiplying. I keep the base and add your exponents. The quotient of powers means I am dividing. Keep the base and subtract your exponents. Power of power is what we learned on Monday, where you have a base and an exponent raised to another exponent. You have multiple exponents stacked on top of one another. Keep the base and multiply the exponents. What we focused on yesterday was your answer can never, ever, ever have negative exponents. Don't let negative exponents change anything you do in the middle. Nothing changes in the middle. It's just that very last step. But some of you fell to this yesterday. Don't forget your integer rules. Don't skip steps. I know I hound on you all the time, but those of you that have listened to me, you are more efficient. It takes you a little bit of time to write it down, but chances are you're getting it right on the first attempt. All right, so let's go through this. You ask yourself right away, what am I doing? You have three choices: multiplying, dividing, or raising a power to a power. On A, what am I doing? Multiplying, dividing, or raising a power to a power? Of a power to a power, I have exponents stacked on one another. Keep the base, which is 6. And then you're going to show me that you're multiplying your exponent, 9 times 2. Your final answer would be 6 to the 18th power. 6 to the 18th power. B, go down the page. Ask yourself, am I multiplying, am I dividing, or am I raising a power to a power? In this one, I'm still raising a power to a power. What's inside of parentheses just got more intense. But that 5 exponent on the outside needs to be shared with everybody on the inside. Don't forget your parentheses. That 5 exponent needs to be shared with my -2 coefficient. It needs to be shared with my base b. It needs to be shared with my a squared as well. Now, -2 to the 5th is an exponent. It's an exponent. Sorry, no. -2 to the 5th is a coefficient. It is the number in front of the variable. So we are actually going to calculate this. But remember, your calculator is only as smart as the input operator, meaning it's not always very smart with negatives and exponents. How do I know if my answer is going to be negative or positive? I look at my exponent and I ask myself, is that even or odd? Is 5 even or odd? It's odd. So what does that tell you? Your answer is negative. Now, on your calculator, you are going to type 2 caret key 5, 2 caret key 5, which is 32. So I actually have -32. Now I'm going to keep my base. What's the first variable I have there? A b. And when I raise a power to a power, I really should. Wait, how do I multiply this when b doesn't even have an exponent? Technically, what's there? A 1. So you're going to show me 1 times 5. And then a base of a with 2 times 5. So our final answer would be -32. B to the 5th, A to the 10th. Now, one of the mistakes people make on Alex is that they type it in incorrectly. Pay attention. Your exponent should be a smaller number. People type in b with a 5 next to it. And they're like, I don't know why I'm getting it wrong. Well, you have 5 times b, not b to the 5th power. So really pay attention to what you type in. C, top right. Ask yourself, am I multiplying? Am I dividing? Am I raising a power to a power? I am dividing. It's written as a fraction. Keep the base, which is 6. And what am I going to do to my exponents? I'm going to subtract, starting with the top, which is 2, minus the bottom, which is -7. Now, here's where integer rules bit us yesterday. Subtracting a negative. Don't erase it. But subtracting a negative really means we are adding a positive. So I really have 2 plus 7. So I end up with 6 to the 9th power. Now, yesterday we had to stop and ask ourselves, can I leave that as my answer? How do you know? Is your exponent positive or negative? If it's positive, done. If it's negative, we got to fix it. In this case, our exponent is positive, so we are done. Bottom right, D, ask yourself, am I multiplying or am I dividing, or am I raising a power to a power? I am multiplying. Multiplying. Keep the base, which is a W, and we add our exponents. -5 plus -8. Integer rules state that we would end up with W to the -13. So we ask ourselves, can I quit? Can this be my answer? No, because I have a negative exponent. So really this is over 1. My base and my negative exponent comes across my fraction bar, down to the bottom of my fraction where it becomes positive. On the numerator, I have a 1. Show your work. Those of you that were skipping steps yesterday got so frustrated because I had to come back around and help you. You all know where the work paper is. You all know my rules. Don't move. Listen. You all know my rules. If you get done to 100%, turn your work paper in, read a book, work on other homework, or work on your Alex pie chart. If games are going to be a temptation on your laptop, don't even venture off of Alex. No visiting with your neighbor. If you need anything, email me. Email me. You are not to be working together. I repeat, you are not to be working together. Make sure you have this done to 100% by 8 a.m. tomorrow.